This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X-Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
And welcome to the X-Zone, everyone. My name is Rob McConnell, and for the next 4 hours, I'm your host and your guide as together we cross the time-space continuum to this place that I call the X-Zone. It's a place where people dare to believe and dare to be heard. It's a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. And the X-Zone comes to you from 8 p.m. Eastern until midnight, Monday through Friday, right here on the X-Zone Broadcast Network and on the Starcom Radio Network from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Worldwide toll-free, 800-610-7035. Email xzone@xzoneradiotv.com. On all social media sites, X-Zone Radio TV. And you can listen to the X-Zone 724-365 at www.xzoneradiotv.com. Well, my first guest tonight is a lady that I love saying her name. Her name is Pink Chick. Now, Pink Chick has been a professional psychic love coach since 1985, and using Reiki, she's mastered since 2008. One of her purposes here in this lifetime is to support single men and women in finding their soulmate and experiencing their own epic love story. Her expertise as a psychic medium and clairsentient is in channeling your lover or lost love's most hidden thoughts and feelings for you in and out of the bedroom. Ooh. She's chuckling in the background, X-Zone Nation. And she just wants people to have great futures together. Pink Chick is my special guest. And Pink Chick, welcome to the X-Zone.
Well, thank you. I'm delighted.
All right, I have to ask you. Why Pink Chick?
You want to hear the story of how that came about?
I sure do.
Okay. My dream was always to drive a hot pink car.
Ooh.
And in 2012, one day, my check engine light came on my car.
Right.
So I took it to the dealership and I said to the sales guy, find me a car.
Right.
I drove around in it. I said, I'm not driving out the lot until it's hot pink. Well, they busted their butt and they did whatever they could. And I got them to do a deal with me and have it painted hot pink. And I was trying to figure out what I was going to put on the bumper and what I was going to call myself. And I sat up in the middle of the night and went, the Pink Chick. And that's how it came about.
Wow. Now tell me about your psychic journey. And when was it that you realized that you had the gift to be a talented professional psychic? And
when I was a teenager, actually, it goes before that. My family and I moved into a house when I was about 7 years old, 6 or 7.
Okay.
And from the moment we moved into that house, I had constant deja vu. I knew I had been there before, but I didn't share it with anybody. It was certain spots in the house where I could feel that I lived that life before, living in that house or living on that land. And I knew who she was. I knew everything about her. And as I grew older, I started seeing psychic and, just realizing what the karma was about that. And until I really got older, I didn't share it with anybody. And in my 20s, I would walk around at parties and tell people about themselves. And it wasn't until I got, in 1980, I went through something called Life Spring. I think they call it Landmark now.
Okay.
And it unblocked me, and I started seeing spirits and images, and I could walk down the street and I'd start going into a fog, and that's how it developed. And then I started working for a bank, and I started reading everybody.
Wow.
And I knew that I said, someday I'm going to do this professionally. And the someday came in 1985, and I knew I could tell the future. It was just, I love these abilities. I feel like God gave them to me.
All right, so you're a professional psychic. I love your handle, Pink Chick. I think that is so cool. I've got your website. I love your car.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, but I have to ask you, where did the love connection come from?
You know, let me tell you, I think that people do what they're supposed to do and what they're meant to do and what their purpose is. And it's like, I am a single person, and I have always had struggles with my own life, and I feel like God gave me this gift to help other men and women like myself to find love. It's like, it's my purpose.
That is so great.
You know, and we help. It's like God gives us what we can't do for ourselves for other people.
We're all part of the same team, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. So tell me about your psychic love coach work since 1985.
Well, okay, so I have, as a coach, as a psychic love coach, I do readings.
Yeah.
And I incorporate Reiki healings into it. And I work with people on removing their emotional blockages through Reiki, through affirmations, through my readings, because I sometimes can see, not sometimes, but a lot of times can see what they don't see. And so it just helps them become enlightened and removes emotional blocks, and it helps them move forward. And I especially love to work with single men and women in moving them forward so that they can have their own epic love story. But one of the things that I do, my expertise, is I can read somebody's feelings for somebody. So if somebody calls me and said, I want to know what somebody feels about me, that's what I do.
So do you know who the person is, or does the person just have to say, I'd like to... Go on, dear.
Sorry, what?
Go on. So how do you do it? For example, here I'm talking to you, and you don't know me from a hole in the ground.
Right.
And I call you up and I say, Pink Chick, tell me about my love life.
And then what I do is I tell you, I channel it and see what's going on. And then if that person had somebody that they're wondering about, a present love or a past love, I connect with that person just by his or her name. And the vibration off that person I'm reading, and I can tell what that person is thinking about them.
Fascinating.
And their future together.
That is so cool.
Well, let me see if you understand this. When, let's say you're thinking about somebody.
Okay.
And you feel all of a sudden you get overwhelming thoughts of this person, and you feel that person, that energy in your chest area while you're thinking about them. That's them thinking about you. when you feel that fog and that intense energy.
Right.
And whatever you're feeling at the time, like if you're feeling a missing feeling and you feel that intense energy, that person is missing you. You're picking up their energy.
Oh, that is really neat. So, why did you decide to work with singles? And how many singles have you helped over the years?
Oh my God, I can't even count how many. I mean, I do tons of email readings, like a week. Tons
Really, eh?
of them. I mean, people are constantly buying email readings from me. And most of them are about their love life, what someone is thinking and feeling about them, and if there's a future together.
Right.
And like, if I don't see a future, I'm honest. I tell them, and then I channel into and see if there's anyone else coming into their life. And I work with couples too, but I prefer to work with an individual not them together, because I can be brutally honest and they, I don't hold anything back. So.
But isn't that good that you're brutally honest? Because if you're not brutally honest, they could get the wrong idea.
That's right. There's plenty of people out there that call themselves psychics, but they're really gypsies and they're fake.
Now, let me ask you this. I love that part that you just brought up. How does one know the difference between a credible psychic and a gypsy fake psychic?
Okay. So, those storefront psychics with the palm reading on the palm, like the hand?
Well, yeah, but I think now they've been replaced by the internet psychics.
Yeah, but they're still out there. There's one down the street from me.
Really?
They're still out there. And if they're not a metaphysical store and they're just like the hand, believe me, they're people that you should stay away from, because they may charge you like $5 or $10 or something like that, and they'll say they'll do a whole reading for you.
Yeah.
But really, what they're trying to do is catch you. And then they tell you have negative energy and pay me this amount of money. I had a guy call me the other day, and he's saying, if I send you money, will you bless it? I told him no. I said, no, are you crazy? You shouldn't introduce yourself like that to somebody. They could take advantage of you.
Yeah.
They'll call themselves Madam or Miss So-and-so, and they'll say, call enemies by name, reunite lovers. They'll say stuff like that. Those are the people that you have to be careful of. Or I'm 99, they say they're 99% accurate. No one's 100, like 90. We're not God.
Right.
I'm very accurate, but I'm not 100% accurate.
Plus, if people can change their mind at the very last minute that you would have no control over. Tell me, do we have more than one soulmate?
Yes, I believe that we do. I truly believe that we do. And I teach people that if one soulmate relationship doesn't work out, then we can always create a new one. And it's just intense as the other one was.
How do you know if that person you're with, that person that you've met, is your soulmate?
Okay. We don't just have one. He or she is a soulmate connection. And you know it. You feel it. The connection is there. You don't have to second guess it. It's right there.
Let me give you an example. When I met my wife many years ago, I knew at that very second that she was the one for me. It was magic. And all the years later, 6 children later, 7 grandchildren later, The magic is still there. I believe in what you're saying. I believe that a person knows. But it's nice to know that if a person isn't sure, that they have a person like you that they can turn to.
That's right. And, it's not like I never say anybody's the one. Mm-hmm. They may be the one for that portion of your life, but they're never the one, because there's more than one the one.
But what happens if you're happy with the one and the other?
Then you're always going to stay with that person.
Yeah. Okay. So destiny gives us options?
They give us choices. Yeah. Life gives us choices. If we don't take one, we can have another.
Tell me about your greatest success as the Pink Chick.
My business is a success because I've been doing it for 30 years.
So you started this when you were 5 years old, okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I am 64 years old, and I'm proud of it.
64 years young.
Yes, that's right.
There you go.
And I've been doing it professionally since I was 34.
Wow.
And I just think my whole profession is a success because God gave me this gift.
Yeah.
And I'm able to do it full time. And I'm blessed. That's my success, that God gave me this gift.
Have any of the couples that you've helped get together, or let me see, how can I say this, that you have been an integral part in them getting together, have they invited you to their weddings?
I used to own, I used to live in LA. I live in Florida now. Mm-hmm. And I called myself the psychic matchmaker.
Right.
And there were many couples that got married. I had a number of them that got married. Interesting.
Listen, Pink Chick, you and I have to take a commercial break. Please stand by. I love that name, Pink Chick. Yeah.
I know. I do too.
Yeah.
That's why I created it.
Exonation, the Pink Chick is our special guest this hour. Her website is thepinkchick.com. And we'll be back on the other side of this short commercial break as we continue here in the X Zone from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. 1-800-610-7035, worldwide toll-free. Email xzone at xzoneradiotv.com, and all social media sites, Xzone Radio TV, and our main website where you can listen to the X Zone 724, 365, www.xzoneradiotv.com. My name is Rob McConnell. The Pink Chick and I will be back on the other side of this short break. Don't go away. Good real estate websites are not just about showing listings, but offering visitors valuable information about neighborhoods, market statistics, tips, and personal insights. Luckily, you will find that on Roost, but you won't on many other real estate websites in Budapest. That's why we created Roost. Roost is a website with tailored results for the foreign investor, curated by Hungarian-loving expats who found their home abroad and decided to roost in Budapest. Let Roost help you get started on the right foot. Whether you intend to live, work, play, retire, or simply invest abroad, Roost offers all types of properties in Budapest, from affordable studios to luxury homes. From neighborhood insights like where to grab a great coffee or how to buy property, our team of local experts can answer your questions and speak to the direct concerns of a foreign investor. Buying foreign property is an exciting and complex adventure. It can also be very time-consuming and costly if you don't have the best information and resources at hand. Roost provides professional real estate services and assistance to an international clientele of foreign property investors and rental apartment owners in Budapest. For more information on Roost, visit their website at www.roost.co. That's www.rooste.co. Call him Reef. Reef is your host. Reef is your guide. Are you happy? Happiness is like trying to find water in the desert. Can you find any? Sometimes, sure, but only a few drops. God is an ocean of joy, but God is not cheap. You cannot find God in a chemical. You must attract God's attention. How? Not by living to please your senses. That is false ego. The Matrix is not real. It is a computer-enhanced hallucination. You are spirit soul, not the body. We have forgotten how splendid our home really is, the spiritual sky. For more information, visit RishasSongOfBlue.com. That's www.REESHASSONGOFBLUE.com.
Little children aren't the only ones afraid of the dark. Millions of soldiers return from war zones with PTSD, anger, frustration, fear, and loneliness, much of which surfaces during the darkness of the night. You have the chance to change the lives of these American heroes. Songs and Stories for Soldiers.us provides free MP3 players for these men and women. With a list of 3 million songs in 16 different styles, 100,000 audiobooks, and 30,000 old-time radio programs, every veteran can find something to soothe and comfort them at no cost. All our players contain an 8-hour audio program designed to help veterans fall asleep. With 1,500 plus vets now participating, it's our goal to deliver 10,000 audio players this year. Go to our website at songsandstoriesforsoldiers.us. Help us help a veteran make it through the night.
Wouldn't you love to know the secret to everything? Well then, meet Dr. Kimberly McGeorge and her cutting-edge breakthrough knowledge that combines science with possibility. Dr. Kimberly brings real-life answers and healing to those open to alternative solutions. She teaches solution-based programs and classes that will change all areas of your life forever. Specializing in conscious creation, intuitive readings, and energy medicine, you can rapidly shift health, relationships, business, and money and abundance challenges quickly. Receive her best-selling book, Secret to Everything, at no cost by going to secrettoeverything.com/X-Zone. That's right, transformation can start now. Just go to secrettoeverything.com/X-Zone and receive Dr. Kimberly's book for free.
Hi, this is Eric Rawls of Cosmoverse.com, and you're listening to Rob McConnell in the X-Zone.
Hi, this is Blade Runner, and you are listening to Canada's #1 paranormal radio show, The X-Zone, with Rob McConnell.
Hi, I'm Laura Sabrin of Feast to Fields Organic Vineyard in Jordan, and you're listening to Canada's #1 paranormal radio show, The X-Zone, with Rob McConnell.
Hi, my name is Lady Ashley, the White Witch of Niagara-on-the-Lake, and you're listening to Canada's #1 paranormal talk radio show, The X-Zone, with Rob McConnell.
Welcome to The X-Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
Welcome back to the X-Zone, everyone. I am Rob McConnell. We're coming to you from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. My guest this hour is the Pink Chick. Her website is www.thepinkchick.com. Now, Pink, I understand you're also a clairsentient. Now, what is that?
That means I read emotions and feelings. Like if you give me the name of somebody, if somebody gives me a name, it's usually their lover or ex-lover. I can tell them what they are feeling about them. I do them directly and indirectly. Like direct is like I channel it as if that person is speaking to them.
So how do you find the other person, and how do you read them without them giving you permission?
It just comes to me. I read them through the other person, through the person that I'm reading.
What happens if the other person doesn't have the same feelings for the person that asked you for the information?
I let them know. I'm pretty honest and direct.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes they don't want to hear the truth, but more times than any, they appreciate it. But there's some people that don't, and there's nothing I can do about it.
So you don't lead them down the garden path?
The garden path? Well...
You don't give them false hopes?
No, I never give false hopes.
Gotcha. Now, what is automatic writing?
Okay, when I started doing readings, it was like I had no control over it. It just show up anytime, anywhere. I'd go into a fog. And I found that through automatic writing, and that's just channeling, it's like spirit writing. And I found through automatic writing that I have more control over it. I still see images and pictures, but it's not as overwhelming. And I write it, and it comes through me. It's also, I call it keyboard channeling, because when I'm doing an email reading, I'm either doing it on the keyboard on my laptop, or I'm speaking into my iPad and channeling it.
So what is the hardest part about doing the work that you do? Every job has its downside. What would you say your downside is?
I don't really have a downside. I might, if I do 10 readings in one day and I don't stop, I might get a little tired.
Right.
But that's the only downside.
Now, I understand that you use affirmations. Can you explain to our audience what an affirmation is and give us some examples of some affirmations?
Okay. Affirmations are positive statements that you repeat over and over and over again out loud in the present tense. Like if somebody's, you always do them in the I am, like, let's just say, I am the wealthiest person in the universe. I'm just saying that. You always say, I am. And the more you say it, the more you believe it. The more you repeat it. I always tell my people, half an hour to an hour a day out loud, over and over and over again.
So basically, it's positive reinforcement. This technique is used by coaches around the world. In fact, Tony Robbins uses this method.
Yes, and I've done Tony Robbins.
I've
done a couple of his workshops.
Oh, I see. And what did you learn from his workshops?
Oh, my God. It was like I took UPW, that's Unleash the Power Within, and that was just pretty incredible. It just made me more open. And then last December, I took Date with Destiny, and that was one of the most phenomenal experiences. I went there to I just wanted to open up myself to more success, more enlightenment, and I came out of there resolving some personal issues. It was just it's amazing. Just amazing. He's amazing.
So what are some of the affirmations that people should, or some of the affirmations that you have those who come to seek your guidance?
Well, for like your love life, I have an affirmation to create a soulmate relationship. And I could give it to you right now if you'd like.
Yes, please.
You could say, I am now in the perfect relationship for me with the perfect man or woman for me. And you repeat it out loud. But first, you need to write it down in detail, your vision of the perfect man or woman, and not leave anything out. You have to make sure you say they're single. And you write it as if that person's already in your life. After you've written it, then you start to say the affirmation. And it may take you a month of saying it. It may take you 2 months or 6 months. But when you create that person, it's going to be like a love at first sight.
What happens if the person is married?
You have to be specific and say you have to really be clear that that person is single when you write it down.
But what happens if somebody comes to you and they're single and the person that they're interested in is married, or the person comes to you, they're married, and the person they're interested in is single?
Well, I believe that there's soul connections, even if they're not available to each other, they're soul connections. And it's up to the two people what they want. If they want to pursue it, that's up to them.
But what about the people that are going to suffer collateral damage? Like the children in it. The children.
Good. I would never go for a married person.
Yeah, but that's you. But what happens if somebody comes to you that they want to go after a married person, that married person has children, and, this gets into a little bit of a gray area as far as I'm concerned, but that's just me.
Well, I let them know, their choices. If you do this, this will happen. If you don't do this, this will happen.
I gotcha.
And it's their karma. I can help them and enlighten them, but it's their karma.
But would you say to somebody, no, I'm not going to help you because you're married or they're married?
Well, I have done that. And they're trying to say, can you help us? Can you bring us together? No, I cannot. I'm not going to do any spells for anybody. I don't believe in spells. I believe in affirmations. If you want, I don't believe that any psychic can do a spell for you because they can't.
Well,
I just don't believe in that.
Okay.
If you want to do your own spell, do it, but I don't think it's right. You can't go against somebody's will or ruin somebody's life. That's like karma.
That's right. Do you believe in reincarnation?
Oh my God, yes.
Why?
Well, like I told you, I was born with that memory of that past life. I had it in me. And God gave me that memory because I feel like I'm living the karma from that life, from a past lifetime.
What was your past life? What was it like?
When I was young, I got the deja vu all the time, and especially in the door. And this happened I lived there until I was 19 years old. 18. Every single day in the bathroom, I experienced that deja vu. In the doorway and when I was brushing my hair. And I knew that I had lived a past life in which I had very long, beautiful brown hair. And I had a favorite brush that I used. And I sensed that I used my beauty to use men. And I knew that. I knew it I used to know her name. And I knew when she died, but I don't remember that stuff anymore. And so I knew that either I lived in that house before, it's quite possible, or I lived on that property. It doesn't have to be the last lifetime. It's just the memory of that lifetime that I was brought in to work on my karma.
So how can your past life affect your present life? And I'm talking about those who seek your guidance, how would, how do their past lives affect their present lives? And can someone be still in love with someone that they had in a past life that they meet in a present life?
Yes, I can give you an example. And when I was like 30 years ago, when I first started doing readings, I started going to networking breakfast groups. And I walked into this networking breakfast group. I took one look at this man in his eyes, and I started to shake. And he started to shake. And it was like, I don't know what it was, but I knew he was from a past life. And we did talk, but he was married, so I didn't go there. But we did have a couple of conversations, and I started remembering this past life. And I remembered it so vividly that he was an evil person, and he betrayed me. And I completely cut it off, even talking to him, because I just knew who he was and what he did. Mm-hmm. And it was 100% from a past life, because I remember it so clearly. It was like a movie, and I was watching things take place. And I remembered it as I was looking into his eyes. That's the most significant one that's ever happened. But each person, the soul, the soul goes from body to body, different bodies in each lifetime. And the soul connects with the body. But the soul is the same. It doesn't change. And the soul brings the karma in from each lifetime.
Right.
And sometimes there's negative karma with people that we've dealt with in past lives. And sometimes there's positive. Like, that obviously you were with your wife in a past life, but it was wonderful karma because you've had a wonderful life.
It's true.
There was, you didn't have to deal with negative karma in that.
But doesn't everybody deal with negative karma in one way or another? Like nobody's life is like it is in a fairy tale.
Perfect. If, have you ever run across somebody that you just can't connect with and there's just too much negative energy?
Oh, yes. I sure have. One person comes to mind,
people are from your past lives. And it's like electricity, and you can't connect. It's just like, it doesn't feel good.
So how do we change it in this life then? If we do bring negativity with us, how do we change it?
Well, through affirmations, through Reiki.
What does Reiki do?
Reiki is universal healing energy, and the best way for me personally to describe it is it's healing energy. And I'm a Reiki master. I used to be a Reiki master, and I do distant healings, and it's done by intention, yours and mine.
Right.